Okay, so a couple weeks ago I found myself in need of some more lighting gear. I had noticed that my lighting game hadn't really been that great, and I had my big softbox light break on me a while back, leaving me with just a tiny little LED panel and some clamp lights. So I did what many of us do in that kind of situation, and I took to the internet to find some replacements. Now, while searching for lights, you'll be greeted with a myriad of options from all price ranges, manufacturers, and companies using the exact same designs to try to make a quick buck. Seriously, what is up with these? Anyway, while browsing through different offerings, one light in particular caught my eye. This one right here, the RALENO video light. Now, at first glance, you might be thinking that this light seems incredibly average, and for all intents and purposes, it is. There isn't really much about this light that makes it stand above the rest of the crowd, except for maybe the inclusion of an internal rechargeable battery, which I found to be less common with lights like this. Most manufacturers tend to just opt for using these Sony NPF type batteries, or just to have it run exclusively off of an outlet. Now, its seemingly pedestrian appearance doesn't mean that this light isn't any good or any less capable. On the contrary, I've actually found it to be an excellent option if you're looking for a decent mid-range light. Okay, that's more than enough introduction. Let's hop into some of the specifics about this light. So what you get in the box is, of course, the light itself. It comes with a little mount that just screws into the bottom. It features a 1/4 inch screw hole at the bottom for attaching it to stands and such, but it also has a cold shoe mount. Now, I don't foresee myself ever putting this on top of a camera as it is. Frankly, I think that looks a little ridiculous, but hey, to each their own. And I could see this being handy if maybe you're using a cage that you've got a cold shoe mount attached to or something like that. Either way, it's nice that they give you options. Also in the box is an AC adapter for charging up the internal battery. The cord is a decent length, so if you want to keep the light plugged in while using it to avoid having the battery drain on you, that is an option, but that's all down to the kind of area you're going to be shooting in and your proximity to an outlet or extension cable. Looking over the build quality, again, very standard, everything is made out of plastic. However, that's not to say that this feels cheap. There's actually a level of heft and weight that makes it feel very sturdy and well put together. The back side is going to be where all of the action is happening. Here you'll find the input for charging, power switch, the controls for the color temperature, which ranges from 3200 to 5600K, and your brightness controls. You'll also have this small LCD where all of your control information as well as the battery level are displayed. In terms of brightness, this isn't the brightest light I own. If you're going into this hoping to be able to fully light a room, then you're going to be disappointed. This light is meant for closer up situations, such as maybe a light for product shots or a key light, anything where you're going to be able to have the light decently close to whatever it is you want to light up. Now, what this light lacks in brightness, it makes up for in flexibility of use. What I mean by that is, thanks to the fact that it doesn't need to be plugged in to work, you now have the ability to stick this in a lot more places than you could something that maybe needs to have continuous power. This is really where I feel like the light shines, no pun intended, because it allows you to really get creative with the ways you can light a scene, since it can be so easily removed from its stand and set in a variety of different places. I'm honestly a huge fan of just how portable it is. I mean, I would have no problem carrying this along with me in a bag to use quickly while out and about, or maybe even to take a compact tripod along with it to have something to keep it up. And since it has built-in diffusion that's good enough for most scenarios, this actually makes a great addition to a run and gun or off-the-cuff type setup. Plus, the fact that it has a built-in battery means that you'll be able to use it even if you're in a situation where you don't have access to an outlet or you don't want to have to worry about swapping out batteries. Now, speaking of batteries, lastly, I want to talk about the battery life. From my experience, the battery life has been just fine. It's never died on me, and the screen on the back makes it easy enough to keep track of the battery and when I might need to charge it back up again. The manufacturer listing says that this particular light will last anywhere from 90 to 100 minutes when on a full charge and at full brightness, and from what I've seen while using it, this is pretty accurate. For me, this is plenty of time to get a lot of use from it before having to charge it up again, or I could just run it plugged into an outlet should I see myself needing more time to have it on. Whether or not this is going to be enough time for you to run it without a charger is going to be up to you and the type of shooting scenario that you're in. If you're going to be using this light out and about, or maybe somewhere that's far from an outlet, then you may run into issues with the battery life, but if you're going to be in a studio environment, then I doubt you'll ever see any issues. Overall, I've been pretty impressed with this light. It's reliable enough to use in a variety of different situations and compact enough to stick in a ton of different places, making it a flexible tool for getting some great and creative lighting. And for just around $60, I feel like my money was well spent and that I'm getting a package that I can count on to help me in the years to come. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video informative or helpful at all, then please drop a like down below. It really does help me out. Check out some of the other videos we have here on the channel, and subscribe if you'd like to see more filmmaking related content just like this. Drop a comment down below if you've got any feedback, suggestions for future videos, or if you just want to say hi. I love chatting with you guys down there. And with all of that out of the way, you've been watching The All Around Filmmaker, and I'll see you in the next video.